I look back at my life, and all I see are the messes I made. I can do one thing right with the time I got left. I can't do it alone.
You'll no longer be beloved celebrities.
In the fewest of ways.
You will be wrathful gods.
That doesn't sound good, Ashley.
Well, you know it, Ashley.
Sorry, Ashley.
This is insane and desperate, even for you.
Well, insanely desperate's where we are, don't you think, love?
Let's go.
That's the spirit, champ.
Who wants a creamy, delicious milkshake?
You're all welcome.
Saturday through Sunday, Monday through Sunday, yo. Maybe I'll love you one day, maybe we'll someday grow. Till then, just sit your drum on that buck runway. I can't be your Superman, can't be your Superman, can't be your Superman, can't be your Superman. I can't be your Superman, can't be your Superman, can't be your Superman, your Superman, your Superman.
Soldier Boy, tough. Hey, I got this new dance for y'all called Soldier Boy. You just gotta punch, then crack back 3 times from left to right. Soldier Boy, I'm in it. Why me crack it? Why me roll? Why me crack that Soldier Boy? That Superman now. Now why me crack that Soldier? 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 Now what? Soldier Boy, I'm in it. Why me crack it? Why me roll? Why me crack that Soldier Boy? That Superman now. Now why me crack that Soldier? 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 Now what? Soldier Boy, I'm in it. Why me in it? Why me rock? Superman now. Yeah, why me crack that Robocop? Super friend, now why me jocking on them, hate them, man. When I do that Soldier Boy, I lean to the left and crack that thing now. I'm jocking on. And if we get the fight, then I'm cocking on. You catch me at your local party, yes, I crank it every day. Haters get mad, cause I got me some baby names. Soldier Boy, I'm in it. Why me crank it, why me roll? Why me crank that Soldier Boy, that Superman now? Now why me crank that Soldier?
If you won't be cranking that backstage, then what are you doing? If you're not cranking it in the chat, then what are we doing? Hello. Welcome back, you guys, to this The Boys Live. We are about to get into season 4, episode 5. Of course, I am not only streaming from my platform, but from my guest as well. So if you could like, share, comment, all that good stuff over there, that would be absolutely awesome. While I'm bringing everybody out and we are getting into their opinions, I would love for you guys to drop how y'all feel about the show so far in the chat and what y'all think about this episode. Of course, if you would like your comment highlighted and all that good stuff throughout the reaction and all, the recap, attach $1 to it and keep it cute. Let's go ahead and get started. Bringing him out first because he was not here the last time we got into the conversation. Dom is here from Screen Static. Hello. How are you doing? Welcome.
What's going on? I missed y'all, but I'm back now.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm so glad that you can make it. What did you think about last week's episode, and what do you think about this one?
The last time I was here, I know I was trying to keep hope alive about how this season was gonna go, and it didn't pick up as much as I wanted it to. I wanted it to get going after they dropped them first 3 episodes all at once. I thought it was going to hit the ground running. I'm still not feeling the momentum I feel like I need to feel. But I'm not hating it. But I'm just here. I'm watching it. It's cool.
Okay. And what about this episode? Did you feel it for episode 5, or are you still waiting on it?
I'm still waiting on it. Like I keep hearing the promise of the season I want to see, like Homelander's speech about you will be wrathful gods. I'm like, yeah, you're talking about the season I want to see. I want to see that.
Hurry up. Absolutely. I think we all we in the same boat. We're going to make it happen. Stop talking about it and be about it. I'm ready to see.
I'm trying to tell you.
these shows don't give us, them old school shows and you get 22 episodes. We don't get that here. So I need y'all to make it rock with what we have. Always in the back with her super duper sweet perspective. I would love to know what she thought about this episode. Ashley, come on out here and talk about it. Hello.
Hey, y'all. Now, this might be an unpopular opinion, but of the episodes that we have had, this was actually my favorite. I can see did it deliver? Not quite, but can I see the writers, the showrunners' machinations? Absolutely. And sister, what's her name? Sister Sage did it for me this episode because I see what's working. I see what's brewing behind the surface. Also, Homelander's speech, it got me ready for what I'm anticipating. You know what I'm saying? Also, at the end, when we saw that butcher smile, we're cooking with grease now. I'm telling you, watch next episode. You're going to be like, I can't believe I doubted you. I think we're getting there, guys.
Yeah, see how Ashley be keeping hope alive, coming through with that sweep. That's why we have her here. If anybody's going to find a glimmer of hope in this sad sack of a show, Ashley's going to do it. Because I'm not even going to be cute about this is a sad excuse for the boys. I have been disappointed. And if episode 5 is the best, that means we really low as far as expectation. Now, I am with Ashley. I do see what's about to happen, but it's like getting there to the about to happen, it could have been a whole lot better. And we're going to talk about it with my slides and whatnot. But girl, I love you, Ashley. I really do. I really, really do. Kay Bly is in the house in the back with them books because she reading them. Kay, how was this episode for you?
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. When they was at the farm, that was my favorite part. Okay. Those souped up farm animals, crazy. I don't know why, but I love that part the best. They should just been on the farm the whole time. I love that part.
Has this been your favorite episode so far?
Yep.
See what all that thought. She ain't like it. She actually was talking in the back. She ain't like it like that. That's why the barnyard, backyard against portion of the show. They had me mad too. I'm disgruntled, okay? I massively love this show and I need that love back. I feel like episode 7, I'm gonna be like, okay. But yeah, I don't feel good about that. Last but not least, because the boy is in the back and I'm so happy that he is here for a 3rd time. Show some love for Elliot with the movie files. Welcome, Elliot.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? How we doing tonight?
Good. I want to know what you thought about this episode.
I'm excited to talk about this because I wasn't the biggest fan of a lot of the stuff in this episode. I thought it was funny as far as like I'm the opposite of Kay. I did not like the farm stuff, and I'll get to my reasons why. But the expo poking fun at Disney, MCU, phases 7 through 19, I got a kick out of that satire because that reminded me of like the boys making fun of the superhero stuff that we got in the first few seasons. But I was not a fan of a lot of that ridiculousness going on the farm, but we'll get into that.
Absolutely. We got some super chats in the house already, just getting started. Thank you so much, DeMarcus Fine, for the $2. Thank you for the $2 yes again, a good old super sticker, and thank you for the $3 super sticker. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, DeMarcus, for showing us some love. Once again, y'all keep hitting that like button, keep commenting, and keep engaging. We ain't gonna waste no time because I need to know what you saw because I want to see it too. I want to go with you, but in no particular order. Let's just start off here. It finally begins. What does Ryan want? What do you want to do? Coming up off of the last episode in Homelander being Homelander, feeling like I think I need to be emancipated, and so does my son. He doesn't need to be. First of all, Homelander saying, we're not slaves, we're emancipated. That has sent me anyway. Like, what? that sent me all on its own. But him just feeling like, I've been manipulated my entire life, and I don't want that for my son. We get into the Amex Black cards. Give him your car. Give him this. Matter of fact, give him everything that he could ever want. He doesn't want to be a part of a show or a film or any of that, and I'm not going to make him do it no matter how much you spend on it. Now, we have the slimy dude here who has been slimy consistently throughout the show, and that's what he's known for. I think even either the season before or the second season, he was harassing someone. Like he's just always good for giving unwanted attention to women. Of course, we have Ryan notice this and also say that he really wants to help people. But in really helping people, we get that Omen, Damon, it's all for you, Damon smirk that we got last season when we thought things were going to pop off. And we know that this is not only a way for him to just, we're emancipated, we're free. But this is low-key what Homelander wanted all along. They could become Kendrick in something just as evil as he likes to take place in. If this is the way you want to help people, having somebody slap people multiple times or whatever we saw, whatever happened, because the camera was taken away, that's a Kendrick interest for Crazy Homelander as well. Now, I was here for this, and I appreciated it, but I was like, if we could have started off episode 1... If we could have started off episode 1 with this, for us to come full circle right back to where we left off from last season, this would have been so great. We could have been really immersed and wrapped up into Ryan and his transition, all with Butcher still trying to save him at the same time. I just wish we would have gotten here sooner, but it's here, y'all. Dom, what did this do for you?
You know, I was surprised at the direction, because I think I knew that we knew Ryan was going to make a turn, but I thought the options were either be like Homelander or be, you know, like on the good side of things, I guess, or be like Butcher. But the idea that, because Homelander is selfish, sadistic, and the idea that Ryan is still going to be sadistic, but almost altruistic sadistic, he's thinking he's helping people, is an avenue I didn't expect. So I'm always happy to be surprised. And I think it's going to be a little harder to deprogram that for Butcher, to be like, no, I'm helping people, and this is what these people deserve. That's going to be an interesting way to go about it. So I was pleasantly surprised that we went that way with Ryan. I agree with you. This could have been episode 2 Ryan. Like if episode 1 was the botched superhero saving, and then we jumped right to, I want to say people for real, and then went down that road, we could have saved a whole lot of time with Ryan and been a lot more interesting.
Elliot?
You know, the Ryan thing, I think it was the first 3 episodes, Tyra, when I was kind of on his side and kind of defending Ryan to a sense, because he was sheltered. Kids are very impressionable at that age, but I'm feeling like Ryan this season is more of a MacGuffin than an actual character with motives and development. Last time we saw Ryan, he wasn't in last week's episode. He was virtually in a fight with his dad. Homelander was upset with him because he was visiting Butcher, and he was upset about killing a stuntman. And not that, I mean, in the lens of Ryan, this was a good save because Adam was harassing her. I think Adam is like the show poking fun of like directors like Brett Ratner or something like that, who's directed plenty of superhero films and have done many abusive things. But the save makes sense that he still has some goodness in him. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have this abuser get abused himself and made fun of, but the smirk and leaning into the Homelander, maybe getting on his side, it just hasn't really worked out for me this far. It's just not even enough for me. So I don't want one of the extreme. Like, I don't want him to be like all good or be all bad, but I feel like the way that the show is handling so far, like I said, it's just more of a MacGuffin and not really much development. I did get a kick out of his comment about the TV show because it was almost like they were taking a shot at themselves with the Gen V show, which I love, and I know they love too, but it was almost like a little reference to that kids superhero show. But yeah, the Ryan stuff is just was just not working for me in this episode.
Okay.
Homelander is like, he's playing on the fact that Ryan is like that preteen teen era, to where they want to have like the cool parent. So Homelander is like, I'm going to be the parent that I feel like I wish I would have had, that would let me just do stuff. People's not telling me what to do. I get free reign. I can do what I want to do. And he's still manipulating him in that way. So he's like telling Ryan, like, yeah, you could just do whatever you want to do. I'm here. I'll let you take the direction you want to take. But it's steadily over his shoulder, like, wink, wink, hey, do this. So it's like, I'm disguising as I'm the parent who's going to let you do whatever you want. But this is my way of controlling you and guiding you into the dark side.
Absolutely. You know, you don't think you want to get on his knees. He should apologize. He should be, he's still on that. Ashley?
Okay, so I'm probably only one, but I'm super excited about righteous villainy, right? Like, I'm like, oh, is he gonna get like his Dexter on? Is he gonna have like a method and a practice, like based on his mom's wishes? So I'm actually absolutely here for young Ryan. And my biggest hope is that it turns on Homelander. I want Ryan to be epically worse than Homelander, and in his mind, thinking that he's justified in it. I'm absolutely here for that.
Ashley.
I liked it.
No, I'm here for if we got any situations to make anybody, like if we got a situation with Ryan for Homelander to go like, well, hold on, now that's too much. I think you need that would send me, okay? That like, because you know Homelander is with it. Now, if he was like, okay, now you pushing it, I think you need to come bring it down, right? I would be like, okay, I'm here for this, but. Once again, that's something that we might have to wait for. Dane C here with the $5 super chat. Thank you. Peace, Tyra, my busty femme fatale all day long. Not today. You know, I'm not ice busty, but you know, I get it done. I do. So the mystery of Sister Sage is that she is on some pro-black superhero stuff. Hashtag fire Ryan, hashtag killer farm animals. Is that what's going on? Did anybody get that?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Try to make sure it wasn't just me. We gonna get into Sister Sage. Like
I do have a question though about Ryan, and I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you think he'll ever find out what Homelander did to his mom in season 1? You think that'll ever come out? Because obviously Becca can't speak for herself on the real situation that happened. But do you think Ashley or they're gonna? Because there's probably some footage and some information of what Homelander, what he did to Becca. Y'all think he's gonna ever find out?
I don't know, Ellie. I thought Butcher of all people would have been like, "Oh, you're gravitating towards this." You know, this is. I thought so. The fact that he hasn't done that yet, or even just win him over to know who you're really looking up to, I didn't think that they were going to go that route. But if they did, that would really be interesting.
I mean, he might use that. It seems like Butcher's leaning into his evil side. He might use that to his card because I think he's holding it back because he doesn't want, obviously what happened to Becca to be out there. But he might use it against him. But yeah,
especially we got Negan on our shoulder. I think he might pull out of his back pocket.
Yeah, and it is footage because that's how
there's footage. That's how
because that's how Butcher found out. So yeah, there is footage. Ryan loves his mom. That's not gonna, it's not gonna make a difference though. I don't think it'll make one lick of difference. I think he's too down far there.
I don't know, all them slaps. I want to help. It's what my mom would have wanted. Your mom definitely would not have wanted this, right? Okay. Starlight is not okay. She is not okay. Starlight is knocking anybody out that's saying anything she doesn't like. The headquarters are destroyed along with the team. Everybody is MIA. Firecracker is still controlling the narrative, and we got all these hands. We outside, but we don't have any powers. The powers are dysfunctioning. For me, the whole situation with Starlight, I feel like we're building up this. If we're not, everybody better get on my face. Like, if this was all for nothing, we better be building up for like some massive transition for Starlight, who's kind of pretty much having breakdowns in this identity crisis. And maybe when she pulls in the reins and like, okay, this is who I am. This is what my version of Starlight is. Maybe that'll be a thing. Because I thought for a second that Vic was doing so. I was like, no, she's not doing anything to her powers. This is just, Starlight. This is probably something brought on by stress. So I'm thinking we're going to have a big moment of seeing these powers just jump from Starlight that we haven't seen. It has to be something massive because your girl is functioning in the worst way. Ashley, how do you feel about Starlight in this episode?
When Newman said, looks like you're having projectile dysfunction, I literally fell out. I thought that was probably one of the funniest lines this episode. But Starlight's pissing me off, if I can be completely honest with you. Girl, put on your big girl panties. Let's be about it. Firecracker is a non-MFing factor, in the words of Evelyn Lozada, okay? Like, get up and do something. Like, to me, it's just a waste of space. She's just very emo right now. She's always crying. Her face is always tuned up. I need her to get in the lab, take some laps, do something, get her powers back working. It's gross right now. I don't like this Starlight. I need her to stand up, girl, I need you to be stronger than this. And it's like, what else could it be? It's not just firecracker, right? It's not, that can't be the only thing with her. And maybe they'll give us some insight into what's really going on at her core. But this feels like really you're, going over the limit because someone's bullying you, Starlight. Come on, girl. Like, come on. You got past being assaulted by the Deep first season, and this is what's causing you all this distress. I don't know. Something's not connecting for me. And I'm sick of seeing her like this. I need him to.
Okay.
Somebody said, when is Starlight's powers going to actually do something after 40 years of taking L's? And I'm right there because she's like being like mean and ornery towards the wrong people. Take that energy and aim it towards Firecracker. You popping off at the butcher, you popping off at Newman. Take all of that anger and put it in the right place. Because she's being real teen angsty right now. Like at this point, she should be on Gen V.
I'm just feeling like maybe I'm like, does Firecracker have something else in the chamber? Is there some? Because she hasn't, every time something comes to light, everybody's like, no, why didn't you say anything about it? I'm like, maybe there's another bomb about to drop that she's anticipating that's making her sulk and lash out and beat up the wrong people. Elliot.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last week. The Firecracker storyline is very similar to what we've seen her dealing with since the beginning. And you would think at this point, as Ashley was kind of alluding to, I mean, she hasn't been in the spotlight since she was a kid, but she's kind of went through the pageant circuit, trying to work her way up to the 7. So you would imagine there's been a lot of haters on that path to obviously not on scale with her information being out there, but you would think she would be a little bit more kind of deflective towards all the stuff that she's been thrown at. And like Ashley said, she's been through so much stuff. And for maybe because it's, I don't know, and they haven't alluded to this, but maybe because it's coming from a woman, that it makes it more hurtful from her eyes versus the Deep or, other male members of the 7 or other men she's dealt with. Because I think, didn't she have a storyline with a boyfriend before it's been so long since I watched those earlier seasons, but maybe because it's coming from a female, maybe it's more hurtful in that sense. But yeah, the whole power thing, I'm totally with you, Tyra, as far as it just being like a lack of confidence thing. Because some people were alluding to, they thought that she had the lack of power. There wasn't a lack of energy around the bar. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. That she can, yeah. So yeah, I'm totally with you that it's her confidence that's affecting her powers. And like you all are alluding to, I think it's going to take something to kind of get her back. I don't know what it is at this point in the show. Maybe because the Huey relationship isn't really going anywhere. So I don't know what's going to be that literally light her bulb to get her back to someone that's exciting. Because right now it's just same old thing with Starlight.
Dom.
I mean, I agree with you, Elliot, that it's definitely performance and anxiety inducing. And I think, like Elliot said, I think it's specifically not just because it's coming from a female, because it's coming from Firecracker and it's coming from somebody that she feels guilty about. So it's not just haters or people being mean just off GP. I think it's because it's something that she feels guilty about. And on some level, I feel like she feels like she deserves it. And so I think that is contributing why this is different. I don't necessarily agree that that's a justified reason. I'm like, we all saw Spider-Man 2. So the performance anxiety affecting your powers thing, it's too late. It's 4 seasons in the Starlight's drama for you to now have performance anxiety and the going through this cocoon phase to come out and be like the person you were always meant to be is something that should have been built over 4 seasons. You don't start it 4 seasons in and then expect me to be invested in it. And because I'll tell you what I was invested in, I was actually, I think maybe in the minority, I was invested in her and Huey's relationship. I thought that they had good chemistry together, and I thought that dynamic worked well for the show. But in this season, have they had 2 scenes together?
No,
like
they're literally brother and sister, and at this point,
that's whack. That's whack.
And Huey's dad came back from the dead and went and massacred a whole hospital, and my girlfriend isn't here. Like I just. they don't. But aside from the one scene after her information came out, where we did find out they went through the abortion together, through that one scene of dialogue was like the only piece of connection they've had all season. And so I just feel like this is the first time this season that I felt like the boys is suffering from all of these different storylines. Like, I feel like there's just not enough time to tell the stories that they want to tell, because I just feel like every episode is like, we still dealing with this. And that's how I feel.
I'll say this to what Don was just saying, and I hope this isn't affecting it, but I don't know if y'all know, but Jack Quaid and the actress that plays Victoria are dating in real life. So I don't know if that if that's like again, I would hope that they're professional enough to be like, even though my girlfriend's on the show, I can't have a girlfriend, or being uncomfortable with Huey making out. Like I don't know, because it is like I mentioned last week, it is so weird that they have there's no chemistry between Annie and Huey, and they haven't even shared like much screen time at all together. So it's very, very weird.
Nothing.
Like if Kadeem Hardison could share, Cree Summers could share Kadeem Hardison with Jasmine Guy on a different world, they can get it back together. Okay, she might need Huey to pick her up at this point. They can get it together.
Oh man, if they like, this is the show where they're like, it was so many scenes of Huey and Starlight getting it in all the time. We don't need that.
Game of Thrones. Yeah.
It was never that. So I don't know. Thank you, Dane C, for the $2. The A-Train movie should have been a real movie. I would watch anything with Will Ferrell. I would definitely check it out, Dane. Thank you so much for that, Dane. Let's see. Trinity Angel 666 is in the house. Is Huey's father dead? I have never seen an injection kill Soup that easily on the show. Also, Starlight's storyline is getting lame. Absolutely lame. Absolutely lame. We gonna get into Huey and that concoction. Let me show y'all some love real quick for engaging and sending those super chats, because we do appreciate it. We will be right back.
Me, girl, give me one shot and I'm raising the glass. Give me 2 shots and I'm shaking the ass. Give me 3 shots and I'm 5 more shots, I'll be ready to splash. To me, so I gotta pop it. I'm sending on business, I'm ready about it. Talking, I'll be big in their pocket. Girl, tell me about it. I'm litty, I'm pretty, I'm running the city. I'm in every department. This ass heavy, I thick like peanut butter. Tell you about it. A lot of winning, a lot of scoring here. Cardi Bryant, Cardi Jordan here.
Yeah, all that energy she using to punch her, I need her to gather that in herself. Like, get it together, Starlight, please, immediately, girl. We tired. We are tired. Butcher's duality. How did you kill Ezekiel? Kessler is definitely a manifestation. I think that was confirmed. I think those were two of the main questions. Kessler and Huey's mom. Huey's mom is definitely there, and Kessler is not. I think that was confirmed here. Your team sucks. Let's do this together. I think that was that first scene of them sitting together on that bench and exchanging the information, and it was kind of Butcher talking to himself and reflecting on the team and the lacking thereof. And it's just like, why wouldn't I just leave them behind, go rogue, and do what I want to do, even though I don't want to, and I want to be loyal to the boys. But yeah, I think this was absolute confirmation for that. What about you, Dom?
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely confirmation, because the file that he was looking at and the information he got when he came back to the team was just the stuff he had got from the actual CIA person in Gen V. And so I was like, when they had that scene and then bookended with the last scene, I was like, oh yeah, he's the Papa Winchester is just a memory, a figment of his imagination. But I'm okay with that, because Jeffrey Dean Morgan, as an apparition or as a real person, can always act his butt off. So I'm cool with it. It makes sense to like have Butcher get back to that. Butcher like, oh, I want that old thing back, and so he finna get back to basics now.
Ashley?
Okay, so I mean, I enjoyed Butcher this episode, beginning to end, probably, but most in the end. I like that if this is, I guess, the devil on his shoulder telling him all the bad things he should do, and him acquiescing. I'm not a huge fan of ambiguity. I like my villains to be villains, and I kind of like my good people to be good people. But with Butcher, I'll say I like him in his villain era, thinking he's doing, right by the world. So I was super intrigued by that. I don't like how they did, what was his name? Samir. I think that was low down, Butcher, but you did what you had to do. The gentle truce in the midst of it, him letting them use the last dose. I was like, Butcher, what are you up to? And in the end, it came full circle. But I'm definitely glad to have the original Butcher back. I still do think he will have a court of humanity for Ryan. I don't think that's left his mind. But what I'm most intrigued about is this like creature living on the inside of him that we got a glimpse of. Is it going to take him out, or is it going to just make him, worse than ever? But yeah, I was absolutely here for Butcher.
Because I didn't go through with it. I didn't send it, so I'm on the level. Like, shut up, Butcher. Okay, what about you?
I wonder how long it's going to be for them Resident Evil creatures to start popping out of Butcher, because right now he trying to tell everybody he don't know what's going on. He trying to hide the fact that he got a parasite. How long is it going to be before it just comes right on out and he shocks everybody? That's what I want to see. And then I want to see if he's going to use it to his advantage. Like, well, since I already got these tentacles coming out, I got this power. Let me go ahead and just fling them around at everybody. Like, that's what I want to see pop out of Butcher. Let's go ahead and just go full-blown Resident Evil creature. Come on, Butcher.
You think those things gonna pop out, Kay?
I want them to, just like the little girl. Yeah, to come out just like the little girl, and I want them to see that that's Butcher and that he been hiding it. I want them to look at, so you was just not gonna tell us that you like one of these little strange alien creature things. I want it to happen in the worst way.
Elliot.
Yeah, I think the episode 100% confirms that Joe isn't real. Now, I still have hopes that it's still, because it don't seem like too obvious at this point, that I hope that there is another twist within that twist, that Joe is still alive, and maybe some scenes have been really with Joe and the other scenes maybe hasn't been. Because I think Eric Kripke, the director or the creator, like before the show even dropped, he has said that they might have something that works with Joe's character. So, and it could have been deflecting and trying to get everyone off the scent of when the show dropped, so they don't think that. But yeah, I hope there's something more to Joe, because I would hate for Jeffrey Dean Morgan to. I'm not a fan of when characters are not really there, because it almost deflates any conversation, because it's not really Jeffrey Dean. It's technically it's Butcher mind projecting that into that particular character, so it almost feels like a waste of a character if he's really not there, which is the case as of right now. But neither here nor there. As far as the whole I think you alluded to last week, Tyra, the symbiote type of venom type situation with this. The only time we've seen it so far is when he was on the verge of death, and then obviously with this bunny dying. So it seems like something's going to probably happen where Butcher's going to be like Homelander's choking him out, or someone's about to kill him, and that's when it comes out, and maybe everyone else sees it then, because I don't think he has any control over it. And again, going back to Joe, I hope that maybe Joe is somehow a manifestation of that tumor virus coming to life, and that is actually a person there, but it just can, like, I don't know, shapeshift or something. But again, I hope there's more to the Joe reveal, but also hope that the tentacles play a bigger part as we move along as well.
Last question. Will Homelander have to get stumped out like the bunny?
Oh, you mean Butcher or Homelander?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Butcher. Will he have to get stumped out like this bunny?
I hope so. I'm hoping. Well, I'm hoping that this season ends with Butcher giving it all. Like, I don't know that the Butcher makes it out this season. And then but then it not working is the down is like the somber note of the season is like Butcher gives everything to take out Homelander and it doesn't work. But I don't like I'm not the Resident Evil monster that's lurking inside him that's gonna bust out of his chest like an alien movie. I don't know that I care. Because it's a little similar to last season when, like, yeah, Butcher took the temp V, and then in the midst of a fight, he realizes, like everybody realizes he got temp V, and that's supposed to be the game changer. Like at this point, I feel like the narrative hoops we're jumping through to make these people a threat to these gods is getting a little repetitive. Like I was on board with the idea of a virus. Like, okay, we got to get the virus and we got to inject them, and that's the way we got to go. And then we were also trying to go another route with like the political side of things and like getting political power against them. Those type of things made sense to me because we tried brute force and it didn't work. So now we got to try something else. But it's almost like we're back to brute force. And so I'm like, hey, it didn't work before, and I don't know that it'll work now. So the fact that they're not trying anything new, just kind of, I'm hoping to be, entertained by it and excited by it. But at this point, I'm just along for the ride with the Butcher inside me monster.
I think I'm with you, Dom, because it's only so long I want to see Butcher teetering on the brink of death. Like, either you're gonna die or you're not. I think that's why I couldn't get into this episode with the barnyard and the NPC characters getting killed off. Like, y'all not gonna touch any of the mains. Like, we're wasting time. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. But yeah, the brink of death and I could die at any moment is getting really redundant. But here, will Marvin abandon the boys? Suspended for fighting just like daddy. Because who gonna check me, boo? Now, the daughter is tripping. Again, she is acting out at school. And this seems to be Marvin's arc this season for me. And at this point, I'm just really questioning if he's going to walk away from the boys altogether and choose his daughter. Even though he, always manages to bring her up mid-conversation. I got to get back to my daughter. I got a baby girl. We don't never see them spending any time together. We only see him get called on when things go wrong and the mom can't handle something. But we don't see a lot of daddy-daughter time. But he does seem to care about being a father. Elliot, do you think that Marvin could be walking away from the boys?
I hope not. Because it would... you would think a character's motives to protect his family and his daughter in particularly, it would be to fight off the Supe. So if he retires, he's just going to watch things go away and not have anything to say about it. So I would hope that isn't the character arc for him, unless they, kill off Homelander and kill off any, destructive Supes, then maybe. But right now, if he just retires in the middle of the game, that would be I would hate that for the character arc for him. But I can see that again, if next season's the finale, or the ending, then do it then, but don't do it now. Nowhere now. But again, this goes back to what Don was saying, and we said it last week. They're just kind of throwing this plot at him, and because I thought the Todd, that was like a thing, but that really still hasn't come to fruition. As far as we know that some of this is affecting her. That Todd's not there, but he's just kind of left. I'll go with this plot more than Frenchie at this point, but it's still just kind of like, okay. This is the same thing, season 1, their family was in risk of being killed, so they had to give them to the CIA and lose her. So it's just like we're doing the same thing with this. So again, this is another repetitive plot that just seems to not go anywhere so far.
Ashley, what about you? Because the ex-wife said, fix it, do something.
Yeah, she's like immediately. And I guess I don't understand her complete outrage in this moment. It was like, she's fighting at school and it's all your fault. And I'm like, I think there's more variables to that. I think it's the fact that her stepdad has, passed at the hands of Homeland. I think there's other I don't think it's just MM. So I was like, that kind of weird. Is there still some bitterness there? Are they going to get back together? What does it look like? But honestly, at the end of the day, I didn't really care too much. Honestly, I was like, baby out there, she's throwing hands. Sorry, get her some classes, give her an outlet to expend some of that energy. You know what I mean? But I didn't think we needed 3 minutes for this, or however long that scene was in the beginning.
But they keep bringing it as every single episode. They manage to drop, you're a good father, you're the best father, you're the best kind of father. I got a daughter, and yet and still, it's like the boys have trumped your relationship with your daughter for how many seasons now? But now it's a thing.
For sure.
Okay.
It's gonna sound kind of wild, but if she can throw hands, but just take her with you with the boys. They got the 7 got a child. Take her with you. Clearly she want to be a part of this. Clearly she understands the mission. She has his same personality type. Okay, she's with it. Just go ahead and recruit her at this point. She actually seems probably more useful than Starlight at this point. Just take her with you. Bring your child to work day.
Too. Starlight is throwing hands. We would not be throwing little baby.
I would be with you, Kay, if she was aged up. That would be more interesting if she was actually older. But yeah, little kid helping.
Yeah, train them right though. Let's start them off now. Keep her in the office.
Early, right?
Like, this is what we do. Let's learn the ropes. So when you old enough, you can be ready to come on and take my place.
In all seriousness, okay, I wish that they would have maybe gave her and Ryan maybe something. That would have been intriguing. That would have been a nice little plot, maybe. But yeah,
they're just not. It's they're not doing anything with anybody I need them to do anything with. Like this, they just keep bringing it up as if it's going to come down to you need to make a decision. Don, what about you?
You know, MM is, if he's the best father, they need to show me at this point. Because to me, it was actually a good opportunity when you had that scene to just have the next scene that every show has of him just going and sitting on the bed with her and having a conversation with her. If they would just added that scene that we've seen in every movie and TV show, I probably wouldn't be so hard on MM. But he can't retire. I refuse to allow him to retire. Not at this point. You've had 4 seasons. Your daughter has been in peril and been at risk the whole time since you left that jail and joined Butcher. You put your daughter at risk. So 4 seasons later, don't renege now. And it's definitely not all MM's fault, but it is his responsibility. And so the fact that we couldn't even get a scene like in Creed 2, or was it 3, when the daughter wants to learn fighting, and so Creed takes her and shows her how to fight, but also shows that fighting doesn't solve problems. There's a time and place. This is a very easy TV lesson to teach and to show how good of a father MM is, and they just refuse to do it. I feel like they're only putting these scenes in here to justify the daughter being in some peril at the end of the season and for us to care about it. Like, she's going to be at risk later on, and I'm supposed to care because you've given me all of these service scenes of MM being a great father. And him saying I'm worried about my daughter and his ex-wife yelling at him for no reason is not enough to get me to care about this little girl. Kill her.
Yeah. Then can I say something too, to Dom's point? I'm just thinking of like a narrative in the writing. Like, I don't even know why her daughter and the ex-mom, ex-wife are living in the same like city as Homelander and them, because just connecting the dots, Homelander killed Todd. You would think that the first thing that MM would do is like, they're aware of my family, so I need to get them out of this city, out of this state, out of this country, because that puts them at, obviously they're very aware of his living situation, especially with Sage being on the mix. So to me, it just seems like they're just throwing these characters there just to have something for him to do, because honestly, if it was reality, he would get his family like the furthest away from this whole situation.
And this show makes even less sense because, like, in traditional comic book stories, you have the idea of like, why don't anybody ever leave Gotham? You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, everybody's poor. I can't afford to pick up and leave. This is where the money is. But MM is on the CIA payroll, and Butcher said he needed $50,000 last episode, and they got that immediately. And he got a presidential pardon. He got a presidential pardon, like he was sending the text. So there's no way you can tell when you can't relocate your family.
Right.
That's why he needs to leave, y'all. I just want him to leave. Marvin ain't doing nothing but wearing his old hip hop shirts and his chains. Marvin ain't doing nothing. Mother's Milk has never looked so useless in a season. Like, I'm just like, gone, and I got to get up out of here. Sorry, Butcher. I got to put me first, Lucius. I have to put my daughter first. It's not looking good out here. I have to go. I will be here for that because we ain't doing nothing else. Leave it up to Bugging Out to come through and revive the situation. I was so glad. I was so glad we revived the show. Stan Edgar is out of jail. Are you upset that I betrayed you? Are you mad, girl? Turning Zoe into a monster. The custody issue and Vic regurgitating Homelander's shame thoughts. You were ashamed of me. I love, this was the best part of the show for me. This was the best part of the show for me, and not just because, you know, Giancarlo Esposito is there. You know, we love him. He's going to do what he needs to do every single time. Like, can y'all put a towel down in this dirty van before I even think about stepping in here? It's please. These are my friends. I love them. But I love the dynamic between he and V and their whole situation, him worried about Zoe and that being the trigger to receive the pardon and help the boys get closer to that virus. And even just the dynamic of him getting out and V being there and them talking about, you're pretty much out here upset with me for you did you not do the same thing to me that I'm doing to Zoe? So it was a really nice dynamic, and I felt like it was the best part of the episode. Ashley, what about you?
You know, I love Giancarlo Esposito. I'll watch anything he's in. And so this was like a bright light. And I felt like they got rid of Stan so inopportunely. Like, I'm like, I still need him. I need him plotting, like his level of like bravado and confidence, even when interacting with like the most deadliest soup. I mean, it gave me everything I needed. So I was so excited to see him out and really irked at Butcher when he tried to renege on it. But then at the end, we see we're probably going to get more of him, hopefully. And so I was absolutely excited about it. As far as the interaction between he and Newman, I always wondered, right? Did they have a conversation post her betrayal? You know, while he was in shackles and like have this moment. And so now for them to talk about Zoe and how she's injected her because I wanted her to grow up and be safe. And not only that, but able to excel, right? Where I was kept in this box. You told me I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. And it's just amazing how people get into adulthood still carrying that stuff from their childhood. But yeah, he loves her. She loves him. I didn't fear for his life at any moment on the farm, but he did tickle me on the farm. He did. I was tickled seeing Giancarlo running from the chickens and the sheep. I loved it.
I think I liked the conversation with the "you are ashamed of me" and her kind of siding with Homelander. I think that's going to come into fruition later on in the show because she really, those words really burned into her when Homelander said them in that episode. So for her to say them out of her mouth, and it's just kind of like, oh, the virus is so you can control the likes of Homelander. Nobody can control that. Who says she gonna want to control them in the future? We don't know what's going to happen. Elliot, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I would have rather, and it's obviously 5 episodes in. Hopefully, we get more of this, but take them and just swap a Frenchie, Kamiko, Huey off parent thing. This is intriguing, like y'all just said. Their dynamic is so interesting, and both great actors, especially Giancarlo. We should have spent more. They should have put him out of prison, had him busted out a while ago, because it is a very fascinating relationship, the father-daughter relationship, and the kind of the history that they have. So hopefully this excels and this trumps with how Frenchie's ending up in jail. Like, I swap places, have Frenchie in jail for the rest of the season. Giancarlo Esposito replace him. Have Starlight going to rehab and figuring out her thing, replace her with Victoria, because Victoria's kind of been, she pops in every now and then, but she should be a main character.
Right.
She should be the Stormfront. She should be the soldier boy of this season, because there really isn't, like, I guess Sage is kind of that villainous besides Homelander, but Vic should be the main other character. So I hope that this is good signs to come, that these two are more prominently used for the rest of the season, because they're great.
They better be. Okay. Did K freeze up down there?
That car. I was like, I know y'all didn't break him out of jail for one day and we just ain't gonna see him no more. I was like, that would have been a whole waste. So I was so mad when she had Pop Dude head in the car and was like, just come on out. I got you. I'm like, okay, good. We got him for a little bit longer. Cause if they would have wasted him for one episode, listen, no, not all this talent. Okay. He got to stick around. Okay. He's a good voice of reason and a good balance for her. I think she needs him in her corner, especially with the election.
Yeah. He's a Decepticon. You just never know. He's just always been like 5'3", 15 feet ahead of everybody. Especially, I need him in Homelander in the scene. Like, I just love that. I love anybody who can put Homelander in his little raggedy place. Dumb.
You are simply bad product. But Stan Aker is the man, and when he shows back up, and like everybody said, their dynamic is the best thing about the show right now. And it's like they are a broken mirror version of Papa Pope and Olivia Pope. Like they, I could just see Giancarlo being like, "You got to be twice as good to get half as much." But their dynamic, it's funny. There are certain segments of the show, and this is why I talk about the show having too many storylines at this point, because there are, to me, pockets of the show that could be the main pocket. But then there are so many wasteful things, like Frenchie being a genuine monster now, and I just don't like him anymore. And Starlight being a waste. You could sidestep all of this dead weight and make, if they were the focus of the show, if you had their point of view and then the boys' point of view, and we just oscillate back and forth, and then Homelander was just this agent of chaos going down the middle, to me, that would be a much better balanced show and a much more entertaining show. But, and hopefully maybe now that Stan Edgar is out of jail, they might be transitioning to that, and maybe Victoria Newman will get a little bit more screen time. But that was their dynamic made the farm scenes the enjoyable. That's why I enjoyed the farm scenes, not because of the rampaging animals that nobody was gonna die from. I was like, no, nobody's gonna die in this scene, but them walking and him stepping and messing up the shoes and being like, Prince Andrew gave me these shoes, like all of that was what made the farm scenes the best. And so I can't wait for more.
Thank you, Dane C, for the $2 super chat. Giancarlo is good in The Boys, in Godfather of Harlem. Now, you already know how I feel about, but who told you to walk on my side of the street? Who told you to walk on my side of the block? I F you up 2 times. I love you some bugging out all day long on my life. Thank you so much for the $2. I appreciate it. Thank you. Getting into these beat up born animals, because we did have a lot of that going on, and we're instantly teaming up to find Samir. I did not care for this. I did not care for this at all. I thought that this was going to be like when we have somebody hallucinating and they're high, those little transitions into an animation, or the blood is bubbles now, it's a stream of ducks coming out of somebody's chest, and we're going to leave it. No, this was a very big portion of the episode, and it was not at all my favorite at all. And then I didn't like the way that they instantly kind of teamed up, and it's just like, oh, we're finding Samir, and we're just going off of Stan's word. Like, they can be useful in their own way. I love how he condescendingly compliments the boys, and it's kind of negative all at the same time. Like, y'all trash, but we can do something with y'all. Y'all not completely worthless. I did like that aspect, but I thought they could have used maybe a more creative way. Because when V showed up, I was like, oh, Vic is here. Something about the pop. It was just instant. No, we're working together and everything's fine. We're gonna find Samir. I was like, dang, that's it. Elliot, how did you feel about them teaming up and about the backyard barn animals?
So the reason I didn't like the barn stuff, because logically it didn't make any sense to me, because they showed Vic when one of the chickens was coming at Stan, she blew the chicken up with easily powered, but then she did not do that for the rest of the episode. That made no logical sense to me, that all these farm animals were attacking them and they were running from them. Just use Vic. Like that made no sense to me. If they would have explained that maybe they couldn't use their, like, this would have been more interesting. If they couldn't use their powers because there was the virus was like contaminating the air and they were like affected by that and they couldn't use their powers, fine. But Vic was fully capable of just slaughtering all those animals without a problem. And then the other thing that was logically making me upset was like they kept making a big deal about, oh, we lost obviously they're going to get it or recreate it, but it was like, why can't you guys just take one of those dead animals, inject their blood and synthesize it and just recreate it from it, like I said, the farm stuff. I know people enjoyed it because it's the carnage and it's the boys, but it made no logical sense to me, the farm stuff at all. So that's why I wasn't a fan of. Like all the silliness and ridiculous was just like the logic was just thrown away, and it really got under my skin.
Once V did that, I was like, oh, so V's gonna, maybe this will be a moment of her not only protecting Pops, but she's gonna, this is bigger than us. Let me pop up. It was like, oh no, we're just gonna do that one chicken. Okay. Kay, what did this do for you?
This did a lot for me. I don't know why. I guess because it was a break from like the heavy political stuff, but this was hilarious. When those sheep was in the air coming out of nowhere flying, I was cracking up. I don't know how y'all didn't know this. This was funny. This was so hilarious to me. And it reminded me of like early seasons when like ridiculous stuff would happen and it would be funny. Maybe because I got a dark sense of humor, but yes, it was the carnage, the whole the blood everywhere and the way they were attacking people. And I thought this scene was hilarious. And I need this little bit of like the little horror comedy parts in there. Like it's gonna be a lot of blood, but it's gonna be a lot of fun stuff too. Like they're literally like running away from sheep, and they have superpowers. Really?
Nobody could think like, oh, this is the last. Just grab a chick. Like we get everything that we came here to get is running around on this farm. Like grab.
It was ridiculously funny.
I thought we were going to end off with Butcher having saved or caught a chicken or something. No, we had to chop off somebody's whole leg, and for what? Ashley.
I'm with Kay. I thought there was levity to all of this. I mean, it was mayhem, of course, but I did kind of leave with more questions. One, right? Like if this is a legitimate lab, I guess I don't understand their process in introducing this virus into farm animals when they have whole underground bunkers of soups that they could they listen, they're not the morality police. Like they're they don't have ethics at all. So why do this to animals? And then clearly not all of these souped up animals are gone. So I'm wondering if in the next episodes we're going to get news reports of crazy animals, attacking people or, what happens. But there was some levity there for me. And I enjoyed seeing Stan run. I liked all of them running into the barn and the flying sheep hitting the door as they closed it. It tickled me.
Like, Dom, did you laugh at this also? Did this do anything for you?
This was a scene that I was very conflicted about because, like has been said, logically, it was a lot of holes because you can't show me Newman in one scene popping the heads of an entire courtroom without blinking. Like because in that whole courtroom scene where she's popping all the heads, she's acting like a normal person. She's acting scared. So it's not taking all that much concentration. She can do it and still act like a normal person and pop a whole courtroom full of heads. So the idea that she can't do anything, like these sheep should not have been a problem. This just shouldn't have been a threat. It should have been weird. And then they all spontaneously combust almost simultaneously.
She was scared. They had teeth.
No. I literally yelled at the TV, girl, this is not a secret situation where, I'm around these humans and they don't know that I have to maintain. Everybody knows now. So why are you standing there?
Y'all wouldn't be scared of a flying sheep. Like it's different from the people. She's
not when I have her powers. No.
And remember, she's vulnerable almost because they threw acid on her. And it just messed up her clothes. So her fear should not be a factor. And also, what I think about this thing is I think it was a great in concept. And when it was on the storyboard, I think this scene was a great piece, a great set piece. What I think the problem is all of these characters did need to be here. And I think they didn't have another narrative way to get these characters here to share the information that we needed to get. Because this should have been a side quest. This should have been Frenchie and Kimiko coming here and then maybe them teaming up with somebody on the Newman side of things and doing that. Because if it was just 4 or 5 people without Newman, then because you're right, it was funny, the flying sheep and and tonally it was a break from the rest of the episode. It just logically did not make sense for all of these characters. And also, you can't tell me the sheep was all that dangerous, and only the people that didn't have names or speaking roles died. Like it's just you can't square that circle for me. So to me, just let it be a Frenchie Kimiko side quest, which a fun one we haven't gotten in a while. And so let that be that thing. And I think this would have had a different context. That's all.
Shout out to the 56 people here in the live. Keep engaging, hitting that like button, and keeping those comments going. I just want to flip this here for a second because this was funny to me. This is what made me laugh. The scene between Ashley and Cameron, like, yeah, I need you to get them bees on up there. I am the dominatrix. How you get dropped as a dominatrix? Like, you're not dominating. Your little position here is fading every 5 seconds. Sage is taking that over. People are talking to you any kind of way. The power dynamic is off. So yeah, I won't be sticking any anal anything anywhere. Girl, get out my face. You fired. This was funny to me. Me and my sense of humor. But yeah, this made me laugh harder than the barn animals, because she tried and came over there with her little clicker. Like, what you gonna do is get out there and make them boots click. Like, I'm absolutely girl, you fired. You fired. But this leads us here. Get Sage off my back. Sage trolling A-Train. Ashley, what else did you do in Homelander's home? And underestimating Firecracker. Take you out behind the woodshed. I was like, all right, we take you out behind the woodshed and beat you. I'll whoop you. Like, if you don't punch her immediately. But we have Firecracker clearly upset because she realizes that everything last episode was a setup, and you fell for it. Did it not work? Like, it served a purpose. But yeah, don't underestimate me, because you might just feel like I'm white trash. And I feel like Firecracker may be calculating and could be a threat to Sage, because she does underestimate her and doesn't expect anything from her. But I absolutely think that she should be looking over her shoulder. And then we have A-Train, that V didn't just run itself up out of there, and I did it. She knows. I don't know why Sage be doing this, beating around the bush and all. Like, girl, come on. Like, she clearly knows what's going on. And just as we thought, we have A-Train reach out to Ashley to do something about it and get her off of my back. And we know what she does at the end of the episode. My question is, you've done a whole lot more than just go in his bathroom and leave something behind, which I did not like in the last episode. So if there's some more validity for the reason that she was there and she was doing something else, or she's been doing something else, because we all know Ashley's end game is to get out and from underneath the boys with her life. So if she was, gathering information, or he is aware of her being up to something more than that, that's really good for Ashley's character. But Elliot, I am going to come to you first. How did you feel about all of these things here?
Well, the Firecrackers, I hope that they don't have her outwit or outsmart Sage, because that would just be so silly to me. The world's smartest person being, outwitted by a, backyard, country bump. Like, that would just be so frustrating. Yeah, the Sage and A-Train, I'm still trying to figure out, like, why she's holding that back. She had no hesitation in killing three Homelander supporters and having 2 black men being blamed for it. So I'm just like, I don't know what her end game is and why she would keep that again. We know that they have a past, so maybe that's going to come back to fruition. But yeah, I'm just like, why? Because she clearly, I don't think it's a matter of like if she knows. She clearly knows all the, like you just alluded to when you was breaking it down, Tyra, where she literally said, "Oh, it couldn't just run." She knows that he did that. But why not use again? I don't know what her angle is so far, but I do think the Ashley stuff will have a payoff, because like you said, she tried to quit last week but couldn't, got the promotion, that, or not the promotion, she's now depromoted, now like just there, a mascot as they put it. So I think Ashley's going to have a really a bigger role into bringing down Vought and maybe Homelander and the evil Supes more than we imagine. At least I hope so, because that's what they're setting up, because she literally, like Stan, she has so much dirt on the 7, on Homelander, that she can just expose them and take them down. So right now they're playing to the comedic beat of Ashley and underestimating her, but I do think she's going to have a bigger revelation to for the rest of the season. But like I said, going back to her keeping the A-Train thing, that's the thing that's kind of I don't have a beat on it. I don't know what her angle is.
I want to know what that is, and I also want to know what I thought with this episode we were going to get whatever happened in Sage's past between her and A-Train. They're just not mentioning exactly what that is. I would really love to know, or maybe she has some dirt, or just something, but we don't know that yet. Don, what about you?
First of all, with Ashley, man, maybe, and this might, I don't know. I'd like to think that I'm an ambitious person, and I like to think that if what happened to Ashley would bother me as much as it bothered Ashley, but when she got not even demoted, she got relegated to a ceremonial position. So the implication is she's just the figurehead of the company, but everything on paper stays the same. She just doesn't have any effective power. And if you tell me that for years I have been worried about what comes out of my mouth, I've been worried about whatever decision I make because Homelander likes to nut up on folks who make decisions he doesn't like. And so as the CEO of the company, I've been twisting myself into knots, trying not to make this man kill me. But now he tells me I get to keep my same position on paper, my same salary, my same benefits, but I don't have to make any decisions. He gonna make all the decisions. Sage gonna make all the decisions. I just got to be here and be on the poster. Man, you could. I'm not tripping. I'm not leaving nothing in his bathroom. I'm not sneaking nowhere. I'm living La Vida Loca. I'm like, okay, cool. That's a promotion to me. I'm like,
Ashley likes power too. She likes power, being able to talk to people any kind of way. You know how Ashley is.
Yeah, cool. But anybody that's not Homelander, all the other people walking around that vault tower, she can still tell what to do. And you know what I'm saying? And if you that power hungry that you just I don't know, because she was about to leave. She was about to leave, and then she was just afraid for her life. So now to me, it's the best of both worlds, because when she walks out of that tower, she's still the CEO of Vault. When she walks out of the room that Homelander is in, she's the CEO of Vault. And so I don't understand the Ashley of it all. It just doesn't make sense to me. Because she should have her feet kicked up at this point.
If Ashley ain't souped herself up with some of that V and got some powers of her own, I don't know what to tell her. Ashley, how you feel about Ashley?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I hate she has my name, and she's kind of a non-factor to me. I mean, I know she's a factor and she plays a role. She's got this kind of a mean streak, you know what I mean? And I think it'll be beneficial down the road. But I really want to talk about Sister Sage, because here's the thing. She's not only, I think, ingratiating herself to A-Train, right? Because she does know this information and she's holding back for a reason. And it could be twofold, right? It could be, I'm going to use this to carry over his head so that he can do whatever. Or again, I think she wants him on her team because she has a secret super mission, right? When she came out with the Black Addict campaign, Black Again, whatever it was, did you see the disdain in the audience's faces, the Black faces, when they had the cognac there?
Yeah.
She knows exactly what she's doing with this marketing mission. It's going to alienate a certain demographic. Now, how she's going to orchestrate this, I don't know. We know she's got the Deep on her side. Now she'll have A-Train. Now she'll have Ashley to a certain extent, because she knows way more than she's letting on. I'm excited to see the progression with Sister Sage, and I'm excited to see her plan come full circle, because it's deeper, and especially because Homelander's been distracted. He has not been focused in on what she's doing. She's had a lot of time to calculate some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely hope that she's plotting something real low key. And I really would like to know what happened between her and A-Train. I would rather see that than them flashing back with Frenchie and Kamiko at this point. I need to know what happened with Sage and A-Train, because she knows exactly, if she's as smart as everyone says she is, she knows a lot. And she's holding this information for a very particular reason. We probably ain't gonna find out for a while. Somebody said, is Sage Candace Owens? I don't think so. I think Sage is a lot smarter than Candace Owens. Now, she kind of confused me when she was sleeping with the Deep for a minute, and then I got confused. But I'm going to hope that she's a lot smarter than Candace Owens here.
We gonna have to wait and see. I think we're all waiting for her big aha plan moment. I'm just hoping that it's as impactful as we all think it is, and it's not. They just made it a point with don't underestimate me just because I'm trying. I'm like, if we allow anybody like the Deep or Firecracker to get one up on nobody
pissed me off.
Be, ahead of everybody. So don't put that stuff there. Like, don't piss me off. Don't do that. Thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Like I'm just gonna wait, but We're going to see, but I'll be happy when we get some history between her and A-Train, because if she wanted to just throw A-Train under the bus, she could have did it. She did. I'm sure she knew way before. She's just been kind of holding on to it. I'm sure she's holding on to it for a reason. Maybe she, was trying to save old A-Train. A bloody mess in putting Hugh down. Now this ended right when it started. This ended as soon as it started. Of course, we have old Hugh wake up and he's okay. Now, first of all, we do have Hugh's mom is confirmed. It fell out of your pocket and I thought you wanted me to give it to him. I still don't trust his mom. I still don't trust his mom. Her and this is my engagement. But whenever you want to pop the question, you lock her down. And I was like, it's the bug in that ring. Throw it on the ground, Huey, and step on it. It's a tracker. I don't know what it is, Huey. It's just something's not connecting with Huey's mom and the whole thought of, I thought you wanted me to give this to him. Girl, whatever. We have a bunch of memory lapses where he's not understanding what's going on or how old, and he's literally coming at Huey's mom because, you left us. And we do discuss why he put the power of attorney in her hands, and there's a situation of Huey not knowing when to let go. You would have, held on to me for as long as you could have, and me suffering, you suffering. I didn't want that. Your mother was going to make the right decision, so I did that. And we also have a transition for Huey. He is stepping in front of the bullet, pretty much protecting his mother. But outside of that, we have just the collection of mess going on in the hospital. This powerful Hugh, he's running through walls, running through people, ripping out heart. It just was a real hot mess. And I really thought it was going to go somewhere and escalate a little bit, but we, put him down, rightfully so, before the episode went out, which I don't know if I liked, but it's gone already. Elliot, how did you feel about Daddy Hugh?
As I alluded to, I'm not a Huey fan for a very long time. Nothing against Jack Quaid. I just don't think he's that intriguing. So I've never really been the biggest fan of this plot. But I think the biggest thing I took away from this particular episode and this particular moment was, Simon Pegg. He's a phenomenal actor. I mean, he literally I hope that he got paid for all those scenes just laying in the hospital bed, because if so, that's the easiest check besides Wesley Snipes sleeping on the set of Blade 3. But I thought Simon Pegg was phenomenal in this episode. He carried the only thing that kept me interested in that plot was just seeing the on and off switch of, corny old Huey Sr. to evil zombie-ish type of Pet Cemetery version of him. So I thought that he was the standout for me as far as those scenes. And then also something that was somewhat answered. I've always been curious on the idea of like how the powers manifest into certain characters. Obviously, when you're a baby, you just kind of a shot in the dark. But when you take the V at an older age, as we saw with Butcher, him having that anger and kind of Homelander powers. But when we see Huey going through the walls and him literally saying, "You saw through me" and stuff. So like to me, it was like, oh, so when you are older and you take the V, it affects your powers based on your personality or things that affected you. And him having that phasing was because he felt that he's been seen through from Daphne, and that probably manifested and sat in him for all these years. And it kind of came out in those powers that we saw in the episode. So I thought that was unique in the sense, if that is the case, that those powers stem from trauma or what have you. So yeah, like I said, I didn't really care for Huey. I think it would have been so good if I was emotionally attached, because that is, again, the acting was there, but it's just like, I don't care, honestly. The last time we saw Simon Pegg's character was like on a FaceTime call last season, so they kind of dropped the ball in that sense. Daphne and Huey moving forward, I don't know where that goes, what that looks like now, if she's just seamlessly, and this is just me just thinking behind the scenes, maybe because we know Simon Pegg has other bigger things outside of this show. He's been in Star Wars, Star Trek. He has, a lot of things in the works. So maybe this is literally them. Let's replace his dad and bring his mom in the mix because Simon Pegg can't do the show anymore. Type of situation, because I don't know what else they're going to do with his mom.
I want her to be evil. I want her to be an op. I need her to be an op, Elliot.
That's still in the cards. That's still, because there is a mystery to her. Because we all, we were alluding to maybe she's not there, but she's definitely there. But that's still in the cards. She could still be evil. She could still be sent in from someone. But we'll see. Because if it's not, then I think the only thing that they gave us was just that Huey's dad died, because that's literally been the most side quest that had nothing to do with the main plot. So there has to be something else besides him losing his dad this season at the halfway point.
Just when I thought Hugh was going to be bloody joining the boys. Dom, what did you think about this? He would be useful.
He would be useful. But I think that the only reason for this scene and the only reason for the dad storyline is for Huey to justify Huey not being suspicious of his mother coming out of the blue. And so then when she turns out to be not everything she said to be, then it's actually a twist. And all of that to say I don't care about it. Because for character growth and character development standpoint from Huey, the dad could have died, and he could have went home, packing up everything, found a letter of the dad explaining to him the let go thing, and it would have been the same amount of time that we spent here. Simon Pegg, like Elliot said, was the standout. His American accent was kind of unsettling for me because I've seen him in so many things. So hearing him just be with an American accent is still weird to me. But the emotional range he went through, the ups and downs, the switches, it was some of the best range that I think he's shown in quite a while. Mm-hmm. And so that was great. They're building something for Huey, and I don't care what it is because it's not going to be satisfying. Like Huey, I see the building blocks where Huey is going to be confronted with something at the end of the season. It's going to be really impactful for him, and he's going to come back on the side. He's going to be a very strong character. I don't care. He should never be outside of season 1. We should have stopped following Huey. Huey was a great introduction point of view to the show when his girlfriend died and his realization and his hatred of A-Train. That part was a great narrative through line for the show. As soon as that got stale, we should have let Huey go. We should have let Huey go and just only focused on Butcher as the central. And then if we wanted an innocent, let it be Starlight. But Huey is past his sell-by date. And so I'm past Karen.
Not the sell-by date. Ashley?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, man, cold-blooded. Yeah, this was probably, if Hugh Sr. was dead, let him stay dead. I didn't need another episode of him coming to life, with casualties and all that. It just further cemented in my mind that his mammy is out of control. She's got a secret mission as well. And I don't like her. But again, we're so disconnected now from Huey. He's been so disconnected from the mission of the boys and his original intent, even really being here, right? Like, does he still care that much? I mean, he's had a new love with Starlight, although short or questionable. Is he still that upset at the Supes? We know in the last episode or the episode before last, he and A-Train have that combo. And he's like, you ruined my life. Everything in my life came apart because of you. And I was like, yeah, no. And so now that he's given forgiveness, maybe he can go off into the sunset. Maybe we'll see that in the next couple episodes. Will Huey leave? He went from being literally they did this twice. Frenchie and Huey. I loved both of these characters in the beginning. Now I can't stand either one of them.
Yeah.
Actually, at this point, I think Newman sent the mom there, and this is all a plot yet again to get that information. Like, I couldn't get it via Butcher because he changed his mind. He was on the level. I need you to go in there and buddy up to Huey and get these things. I give you this much. You ain't never liked the boy. You've been gone for how long? Go on and get this check. That's. I'm hoping it's something of the sort of that. Thank you so much, Cassiana Stewart, for the $4.99 super chat. I love you, sister. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you. Thank you. Let me show y'all some love for a moment and also give Kay a moment to get back into the groove of things. And we will be right back. Oh, let's see. Here we go.
She want the tea. She want the tea. I cannot speak. We keeping it street. We keeping it street. I took a loss, but you still gon' get beat. You still gon' get beat. How much it costs? It never been cheap. It never been. Turn your click up, dog. Turn them up. Turn your up, dog. Turn them up. Turn these streets can't cross it. Cross them up. All these streets need bosses. Boss them up. Turn your click up, dog. Turn them up. Turn your up, dog. guess I'm picking them up. We come from the bottom together. We get it, we splitting it up. If my tell me pay for the I'll take a tapping and tell her shut up. Standing on business, standing on business, ain't nothing to pipe it up. It ain't nothing to turn up. It ain't nothing to turn your click up. Ain't nothing. We turn the jeweler up. Just look at the diamonds we bust. Look at the people we touch. I'm feeling like Puffy and Russ.
Ah, man, that montage just made me mad. I'm like, man, the boys used to be so good. Remember that scene? That was a real. Oh, I remember that. Like, oh, that's not what they supposed to be for. Y'all keep showing love in the chat. Thank you so much. I was looking at it, reminiscing, like, man, I ain't feeling none of that.
Soldier Boy was so cold. We need Soldier Boy back. Get him out of ice. Take him off the ice. He's so
Please.
good character.
For the people here on K's, and she will be rejoining us hopefully sooner than later, but we are going to continue to go on. Y'all keep engaged in that chat. Vic's baby daddy in the last dose. Butcher, you may be an a-hole, but you're one with a good heart. Make the right decision. Now, I think we all knew, like, all right. I think we already had the discussion about the whole chicken and because when they did this big hoopah about the last dose, I was like, what? Were there not a whole lab of y'all been but okay, whatever. But we have Butcher in this moment have to make a sound decision on that, and we also find out that Samir is the love of V's life apparently, and he's he's Zoe's dad. That didn't do anything for me, but apparently they were a thing. Ashley, how did you feel about this? And did the revelation about Samir do anything for you?
No, I did not care. I don't care about Newman's love life at all whatsoever. I don't. I really didn't. I was like, oh, okay. But I was like, dang, Butcher, you didn't have to take his leg. I mean, that was kind of brutal. Now she thinks she's lost the love of her life, whatever. While I'm interested in Newman as a character, individually, I really don't care about her relationships. That's not my concern. I want to know what's going to happen when she gets elected and what she's going to do. Because she's a powerful soup within her own right. And I would like to see that explored more independent of politics, independent of, all of the other dynamics. But yeah, Samir, I hope you remembered everything. Cause I'm like, don't scientists write down the formulas and stuff like that? It's got to be written somewhere. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand their method of science here, but go off, Butcher, hey, one leg is Samir. He'll figure it out if he doesn't bleed out first.
I felt like this was here just as another reason for Newman to cling even closer to Stan Edgar. Like, I done lost my man. Like, you are my family. I love you. You're all I got at this point. You and Zoe. So yeah, I thought it was here for that. Welcome back, Kay. How did you feel about this? About Vic's baby daddy Samir? Did that revelation do anything for you, Kay? Uh-oh. Let's see. I think it's frozen. Elliot, I'm gonna come to you.
Yeah, the Samir thing, I think the only angle, not only, but the angle I can see them going is that Butcher's gonna hold that against Victoria to hold him high. I got your husband, type of angle, take the virus, something of that nature. There's a reason besides him recreating the virus or whatever the case may be. I think that's what Butcher might use him for. And there could be another angle. I don't know if Samir, obviously we didn't get this answer, but I'm curious to know if he's okay with the idea of Zoe being shot up with Compound V. I would feel like there would be some maybe a back and forth conversation or disagreement there. So I don't know if that's going to come back into play. He's going to find out his daughter, because that even makes it even more weirder that he would make something that can kill Supes, knowing that his baby mama's a Supe and his child's a Supe. So that seems like a weird conflict of interest of him creating something that can kill two people that I would assume he loves. So yeah, I hope there's more to Samir. It could be a Gen V setup. We might see him later on in Gen V maybe, but yeah, I don't know where they're going besides using Samir as leverage or blackmailing Victoria. And I'll say this for Butcher, he got some type of superpower, because I don't know how someone can cut someone's leg off in 2 seconds and reappear. Like, I don't know. That didn't make as sense at all. Again, a lot of logic did not make sense for me on this farm. But yeah, like I said, we'll see what happens with Samir and how they're going to play that card.
Dom?
Butcher had to drag a grown man out of sight, cut his leg off using something.
Teeth.
And nobody saw, heard any
Mhm.
screams,
Mhm.
didn't nothing. All the law enforcement around didn't notice a thing, but they found the leg, but there wasn't a trail of blood going away from the leg. I just, Butcher's Batman, and we just gonna have to deal with it. But I don't care. I be feeling like I'm hating on the show, and I like the show.
No,
I
hate
do
on
like
it.
the show.
That's what I'm here for.
The amount of things I don't care about is crazy. Victoria, because I think Newman is right up there with Stan Edgar as one of my favorite characters. I feel like she's a character that doesn't get enough shine. I actually like the political aspect of the show. I just wish we would see more of it. I wish that they would like lean into it and show her like moving and shaking and having to be a soup and a politician in a real way instead of just telling us about it. And so but again, I can't want it too bad because we don't have time. We don't have time because we gotta have Frenchie traumatize a grown man for 3 episodes. So we just don't have time for it. So, but hopefully with Newman and Stan Edgar on the same team again, and they back in business, we can get some coolness. But I think we won't see Samir again till the finale, or do you like or until Gen V. I think he's gone.
And at this point, I just feel like whatever this manifestation, it's that warm. It's the venom pop him out. That's how he cut the leg off real quick and, got the body together. This thing popped out and assisted him real fast. And, it was useful in that way. I did love this. I was like, because of course I love how they have him conveniently show up here in this moment. Like, yeah, that's my boy doing the wrong thing. This is the thing. This is the butcher that we want. And he's referring back to him like, you're going to help me get some V. And you have Samir looking like, who the hell are you talking to? There's nothing. There's no one over there. So I think this manifestation is not only in his mind, but this manifestation is something tied to that worm alien being in his body, and he hopped out like venom and chopped that leg off and dragged him to another location all in under 5 minutes. Kay, how did you feel about Kay? Is Kay frozen again down there? They just won't let Kay be great. How did you feel about this, Kay? And let me know if you're frozen or not. Or
can you see me? Hear me?
I can hear you, but it's a little disjointed. But it's fine. We can hear you.
I wonder, does Butcher know that he's in a figment of his imagination, or does he think he's real? Like, if he was with them, like amongst the rest of the boys, and he talked to him, would he believe that everybody else saw him, or does he know that it's not real?
I think he has to know, because they conveniently make sure they're talking when there's. It's very convenient, so I think he knows. He has to know, and it's maybe I'll be glad when we're not here anymore, because now that we know that he isn't real, it feels like a waste of time. It feels a real one-off now, but I'm hoping that it's a whole thing, and it's just manifesting itself to look like Kessler, but it looks like Venom / V Monster when we finally get to see whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to make it make sense. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Anything else on this situation here? Okay.
I'm ready for Butcher to be in his villain era. I mean, he got his little imaginary friend, he got his powers, he got this man right where he wanted to build this virus for him. I want to see how far he is going to go. Like, is he going to be like Homelander level? Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do by any means necessary. Like, to what point is he going to go too far? Like, what is he willing to go through to get to the point where he can take Homelander down? Is he going to get on Homelander's level to take him down again?
We'll see. But once again, Kay, that's still like regurgitating what we've seen already. I really want them to do something new and something interesting. And I'm really upset that I don't see my slide with the Hennessy and the beer. Like, I don't see it. It's gone. I don't see and it's gone. It clicked off when the thing happened. But I had a whole thing with it because it was. I had it. It was. It's not. I do not see it here, and it's making me mad. Like I've been back here looking for it for a minute. I'm like, it's just not here. But I thought that was really funny when we got into the minority and the black ass and the peach and the beer and the I think it was like Pride gay lasagna for Maeve. Like it was a whole little. It was really funny. Is what it was. And then just that when the show gets into the Disney Plus streaming phase. Parody of it all. That's when I love the show. That's really, really funny, and that's what I like them for. But I don't see my slide. But what is here? We just have Sam and Kate. They're just in the background. They're just in the background. They show up at the ceremony presenting an award, and then we have this vault. You know, we're going to be Gauze and Wrath, and the framing of Cameron for the situation that A-Train did. But they're just here. They don't say anything. They don't really do much. And they're just kind of shuffled into the fold. And I'm like, okay, we better get them to saying something. Something. I thought this was so random, but I know that they're going to eventually come full circle. But this didn't work for me. Ashley?
I want my other Godolphin kids. I want the 5 missing. Those are the ones that I want. You know what I mean? I don't care about Sam and Kate at all. And Cameron went out bad. He didn't deserve that because he didn't want his junk crushed by her anymore or to be pegged or whatever it was. I didn't like that for Cameron. I thought that was really, really sad. But he pissed off Deep in the same moment. He pissed off Ashley. You can't mess with these soups like that. But yeah, I wish we would have gotten more from the Godolphin kids other than, yes, Homelander, whatever you say, Homelander. Absolutely, Homelander. That's really all they came up there and said. I loved Homelander's speech, though. I was like, yes, come on, let's mess some stuff up, Homelander. And I want to see him take charge in the next episode and really send them on some missions. I'm excited about what this is leading to.
Elliot, were you here for Sam the Robot and Kate making their appearance?
I'm a Gen V fan, big time, and I thought Sam and Kate, like their arc throughout that first season was incredible. Mm-hmm. So it broke my heart when they were just literally robots in this episode. Like it almost felt that they almost shot this. I feel like they shot this before they shot Gen V. I'm sure she's a soup. Her arm can regrow, but like her arm was back there. And then Sam was kind of in the same state of mind of like when he told her to remove all him caring and having feelings. Yeah. So it kind of played like, I think narratively, like we can play with that, but it didn't feel like they were them from Gen V. So again, I think they might've shot this either between shooting Gen V or shooting before the finale. Cause it just seemed off to me and it didn't even really serve a purpose besides Gen V season 2. We're going to see whatever ramifications that happen to the boys carry over to that show. But yeah, the Homelander speech, we knew it was coming. And those that are familiar with the comics kind of know where they're leading to. Of there's going to be a civil war of certain soups picking sides and fighting against each other. So that's definitely what they're leading to. And to Ashley's point, I think the rest of the Godolphin kids will come into fruition when that does happen, probably in the finale. And they did, and like someone mentioned in the comments, rest in peace to Chance who played in Gen V. They did confirm that they're going to write his character off and they're going to write it off that he died in world. So there might be some ramifications of how that plays into it all. So yeah, we'll see what happens with all of that. But Cameron had, when you talk to soups like that, Deep was happy about it. Ashley thought quick on her feet because that happened really quick for her. The A-Train to talk to her, for her to come up with the idea of planning. Which again is just like this is comic book stuff. I don't just let it go. How she was able to, I guess, make it frame him that he was talking to MM. But yeah. Oh, did Tyra go? She might have frozen.
And Ashley, you muted too.
And I'm muted. Dom, do you want to go next? It was faltering.
Oh man,
Tyra's back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
No, go ahead, Dom. I heard Dom talking when I came back in.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say that I think that Sam and Kate plus 8 should have done something. Should have done something Oh, because to me it would have been a better reveal, because when you do crossovers like this, you don't want it to be so inside baseball that people who only watch The Boys don't understand.
Yeah.
But you do want it to be enticing enough that it might make them want to go watch it.
Right.
And so this didn't do that. This was like who are these
random people?
These random people. But if they brought Kate in here to use her powers, like specifically, you have
It's a
her
game changer.
Yeah, and then you just bring her behind the scenes, like, hey, I have this super powerful girl, and she uses her powers in some way, and then people watching is like, who is that? Well, watch her in Gen V. Like, that to me would have been a great thing, but just to have this cameo that was almost like a meta version of superhero cameos in the actual Marvel movies, because I'm like, you got these people in here not doing nothing. I'm like, why is Captain America randomly in a Thor 2? Just because he was on set, the actor was on set, so we shot him. That was. But with the Homelander, the Tucker Carlson be getting framed, I don't care. But the Homelander speech, I felt like we wasted a lot of time to get here, because this speech is long overdue. Because to me, when he killed that innocent that person who threw the bottle at Ryan in the crowd, and then we ended the season, the next time we saw Homelander, this should have been his mindset. He should have been like, you know what? I'm tired of being a celebrity, and I want to just take over. So to me, the fact that we had to wait this long for him to make this determination it was just so we could get all the other pieces of the show in place, so when he does make this switch, everybody else is caught up. But he should have came into the season, to me, on this type of time.
100%.
This made me mad. I thought, well, I was like, okay, well, they were just that award. She's definitely going to go and make Cameron, do something to himself, like just to show the range of her power. No, they were just literally standing there, but we can make time for the deep to say he's going to go screw his wife. Like that's the type of stuff that annoys me with the show. Like we don't need that. We don't need the deep doing nothing. We know he does nothing.
Yeah.
Kay, did you share your thoughts on this yet? Oh man,
I'm wondering, like, when he told them to, like, pretty much go in on the guy, like, show out. Why are y'all just kicking and punching him like y'all ain't got superpowers? Like, I need to see some laser beams come out, do some fireworks and some mind stuff. I need to see him like floating in the air and whatnot, being split into different. Why are y'all like kicking and punching him like regular people?
The worst.
What was the reason for the whole God speech if y'all was just gonna be commoners? What was the reason?
To Kay's point and Dom, they should have, to bring Kate and Sam in the mix. Kate should have made him do something, and then Sam smash his head in to make it be like, oh, those kids are some next level stuff. That was so much they could do.
That's what I wanted to see.
That's what I thought. So I said something crazy is definitely Ted Knight is just here. Ted Knight at the meeting. He's there for the speech. Him and Sage are sharing thoughts. I was like, did this mean anything for any? Because I'm like, something's about to happen. Something's unfolding. They're putting something together for us, but it's just not coming together for me. Like Ted Knight is just randomly here. He gets a lot of spots on a little V 52 Expo talking, and then he's just at the meeting here for the wrath and the gods among God situation. Did Ted Knight mean anything to anybody? Because he was there.
I think he was there, like the other stuff we talked about. He was there, so it's not surprising when he shows up later. Because I think we talked about it a little earlier with Sage. I think her plan is part of her plan. I don't think it's her end game, but I think part of her plan involves taking over the Seven. And so I think she's going to maneuver herself to where she has leverage over everyone in the Seven, and manipulate them to do whatever her actual end game is. And I think Tech Knight is, going to play a part in it. But I think he was just in this episode. So then when he shows up in the next episode, we're like, oh yeah, that tracks.
That's a sorry introduction, Dom. Anybody else? on Tech
I
Night.
think he's there for Huey, because wasn't that Huey's favorite suit before he actually knew who the suits really were?
Yeah, it was.
There for Huey to do what, Kay?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. They might cross paths or something. That was his favorite one.
Oh, if we're gonna go way back there, they can throw that all away. Like, he has to serve some major purpose. It's just like all of these new faces were just in the room, like, okay, y'all, this is what we about to do. Like, we haven't seen these people at all. Like, what? Ashley?
I mean, I think that Sister Sage is gonna use whoever she needs to, right? And so, I mean, he's got credibility on his side and a history. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him again later. I kind of I'm on the side of Dom with this one, that let's introduce him now, right? And so when he comes back later on, it's not a surprise.
Elliot?
Yeah, no, I can yeah, they're gonna use Tech Night again, because if you're familiar with his somewhat origins or his comic character, he's gonna have a role in this. I would imagine probably even next episode. I would imagine, because that whole scene with him and Sage, I think she's sharing maybe some of her grander plan to what she wants to do, and I think Dom is kind of on the right path of like her building her own little secret team, her secret Dark Avengers to the Allah 7. So yeah, I think we're gonna get more of him, because I mean, besides his whole, having intercourse with any holes he comes across.
Because that's the only thing I know him for.
Yeah, no, he's a cool character. Yes, someone even mentioned he's like a mix between Iron Man and Batman and like Sherlock Holmes. So he's a very valuable soup who can get valuable information out of anyone with his skill set. So I think he's gonna be someone that we can anticipate seeing sooner rather than later. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's next week.
I wish they would have introduced him better, because I just like, this is so random and so dry. I just knew that Kate was finna whip them powers out, and no, it did not give any of that. Oh, where's Colin? Frenchie's guilt, ignoring Kimiko, turning himself in. Drugs all out in the open. Some sins can and shouldn't be forgiven. I think we're all in agreement that nobody cared for any of this. I care because I hate to see Frenchie in this state. Frenchie used to be one of my favorite characters, and he's diminished so far from that. Like him, snorting at the boy's hair, like just the rip in whatever his relationship used to be with Kimiko, just pretty much out of nowhere this season, and him getting to the point of guilt to go and turn himself into the police. I just like, okay, where are we going with this? I'm really not here for Frenchie's situation. Unless Colin is somewhere being up to be a surprise supervillain, I do not care. Elliot?
Yeah, Frenchie in jail, good. Keep him, lock him up, throw away the key, because I think his character's done. I know that's not going to be the case, but I just secretly hope that that's what they're going to do, because there's nothing that they're giving him right now that's remotely intriguing. Something of them going to jail, only thing I can think of is Kimiko breaking them out, and that being, obviously someone working with the boys, and now the boys are, because obviously they're in the good graces of the CIA, but now you have one of your members breaking people out of prison that can maybe cause some conflict. But outside of that, I really hope we don't see Colin again, because what is he going to do at this point? So yeah, I literally am so happy that he's in jail, because I really hope that they keep him in jail for the rest of the show.
I would love that too, Elliot, but we spend so much time invested in guilt and Colin's little argument. We did a whole Batman montage for they should have had some crows drop on the ground for Colin at this point. The way they were going, like it was right. Just that much lingering in it. So I'm like, he has to be a factor somewhere. Dom?
The boys so Frenchie has changed as a character, just as a fundamental character for me, because the boys to me has had two categories of characters, in the sense of like, they've had characters who have done horrible things, and then they have horrible people. And a lot of times you have the struggle between the two, and the individual characters try and struggle to figure out where they fit on that spectrum. And most of the boys have been people who have done horrible things, but at their core are not horrible people. Frenchie's a horrible person. Frenchie's a horrible person.
Mhm.
And he's right. There are some things that you cannot be forgiven for. And what he did to Colin is morally reprehensible. And so the idea that, so now I'm definitely with Elliot that I wish he would just stay in jail for the rest of the season. He won't. But now he has to die. He's got to die. And because that's the only redemption possible for him is like self-sacrifice. But we don't need to see Colin again because Colin only served to show how deep his guilt was. And we see how deep his guilt was. His guilt is so deep that that traumatizing a whole adult is ancillary to how much guilt he feels. And so he has to die. And I will not mourn him. Yeah.
Oh, look at Swipe Lee down here. Asking questions the boys are not presented to answer at this moment. Wouldn't Tech Night know A-Train was uncomfortable? Swipe Lee, we ain't even gonna go there. That the Tech Night, that's what I'm saying. His introduction brings up so many questions, like because I don't know about the Batman. I don't know the width of his powers, but
he's badass. He's a
I know. I saw the sense, him reading, emotions and knowing his capability bets a lot of questions that the boys are not ready to answer with his introduction right now in the show. He wasn't thinking about it at that time. That's all I can give. Okay.
He went on the clock.
My only thing is with Frenchie turning himself in, is this going to fall back on the boys? Because with all the stuff that he's done, they're going to know that he didn't do it alone. Like they're going to want to know, who are your accomplices? Who else was there? Who are you around? And I think if him turning himself in to the boy, turning himself in and it fall back on Butcher and them, he really do got to die. Because why would you do that knowing that you're working with a whole lot of other people doing some illegal stuff? You taking everybody down with you at this point.
Oh, I don't know. I just assumed he was going to lead the boys out and talk about all the stuff he did for that mafia woman.
That's what I thought. I thought he was just going to confess to the stuff he did as an assassin.
Ashley?
But yeah, Kay, I echo you there, sis, because I felt like, all right, this is probably the most selfish thing he's done. One of the most selfish things he's done up to this point, knowing he could be vital in the current situation, right? In the current climate, as far as what they're trying to do as an organization. But yeah, I used to love Frenchie. Now, not so much. I do think it puts him in a precarious situation because just like the CIA and the boys will know where he is, so will their enemies, right? And he's a captive audience at this point. So what if Sister Sage gets deep and wants to know more information? He is their prime subject to torture, to do whatever. I think if he was going to do something, he should just be gone. I think he should be eliminated. I hate to say it, but yeah, he needs to move on from this plane to the next. It's just he's a loose end at this point for everyone involved, and he's not mentally stable. He's liable to do anything. I think for Frenchie to have stayed viable, he would have needed a new person to save. It seems like for some reason he found redemption in working with Kamiko, which is why we didn't see this version of Frenchie. But as soon as she was like almost whole, that's when we started to see him slip back. So maybe they get him a new project and he gets better, but I think it's past that.
No, I want him to die. And I love Frenchie, but I want somebody to die. Like the fact that all the boys have been intact this entire time, the stakes in the show need to be raised. And normally once we start to lose some of the main characters, that's when it's like, oh my God, I didn't, we had the boys for this long. What does it look like without a Frenchie, without a Marvin, without because you can go to somebody need to die. Somebody needs to die.
It's gonna be Frenchie. I think you're totally right, Ty. I think Frenchie's gonna die this season.
Yeah.
He has
and
to.
It's crazy.
I think he has to, yeah.
And it's crazy to think that through the course of this show, how many members of the 7 we've lost.
Yeah.
But this team of regular people had just no casualties whatsoever. But we've lost like several members of the premier superhero team in this universe, but none of the boys. Is crazy.
Yeah, that's funny.
Because they're safe, it's them boys. Flight armor. Expectations for episode 6 for me. I just want the show to get better. I don't have anything that I can say I'm per se like, oh, I'm really looking forward to that. I need the show to come. We took too long to get to the plot points that I could consider good. The return of Vec and what is his name? Stan Edgar. Yeah, Stan Edgar. That should have been present. That could have been there episode 1. Ryan and his little prepubescent transition. I don't even want to hear Ryan voice. Ryan voice is like nails on a chalkboard to me. That little I don't like that. I need them to do something with him. Where he is now, we need him to be there sooner. Like the speech from, we just needed everything here sooner. So it's not enough here for me to be like, okay, I'm really anticipating this. I just want the show to get better. Ashley?
Same. So I am all eyes on Sister Sage and her plot, plan, and scheme. That's what I need to get to the bottom of. Also, I want to see this reign of terror from the wrathful gods, lowercase g, right? I want to see that start. The bloodier, the better. Yeah, and I wouldn't be disappointed if someone gets taken out next episode. Doesn't matter who, but I'd like to see some action, right? We need to see something final happen in next week's episode.
Ashley said y'all can take Butcher. I don't care. Somebody needs to die. I don't care. Elliot?
Yeah, no, I'm with Ashley. I think we need something's going to have to shake up because there's only 3 episodes left. So you can't this looking, obviously we're 5 episodes in and wrapping up the season. This to me feels like just a setup season for a much better probably finale. And I think we might look back at season 5. Well, okay, they were setting the seeds for this, that, and the other. But right now we're in the midst of it. So it seems a little underwhelming. But I'm hoping that episodes 6, 7, and 8 really do. Because normally, and I've been somewhat starting my rewatch of The Boys. This is a trend that sometimes the middle portion of the season, the 4 or 5, even though I thought last week's episode was pretty good, but and not even just The Boys, most shows have a little bit of a soft patch in the middle and then they kick things off in the final 3. So I'm hoping that next week starts off that back end of this season of the wrath of Homelander, getting, making sure that the Supes know that they're superior than the humans and the humans having to push back because we still have election. And I know they released the final episode. The title was like a assassination run. So there's going to be something they have to build up into. Again, Vic probably ended up being the president by the end of the season, but building that building block there. Where are we going with the virus? So we're going to have something there. But like Ashley said, I think the sage of it all has to come and pop up now. We have to get some type of understanding of what she's setting up. And I think we're right. I think someone's going to die next week. I don't know on which side of the coin, whether it's a Supe, an important Supe from the 7, or if it's one of our characters. If I were a betting person, I would say a Supe's probably going to die just because, as Dom alluded to, the plot armor on our human characters are very much thick at this point. So I imagine a Supe's going to probably die next week. And it could be someone big. Nothing like Homelander big, but maybe, someone that, we've come accustomed to seeing. So fingers crossed. Yeah, a lot of people assume that A-Train's going to die.
I think we all feel like on both ends, A-Train on the Supes end and Frenchie on the end. But yes, Elliot, the show is definitely in its Stranger Thing phase. We falling off around that mid-season, but we can pick it back up. There's always opportunity for us to, have a Kate Bush up that hill moment and come back and have this season. Maybe the next season is that because it's surely this one. Okay.
I need Butcher's tentacles to come on out. Just the parasite, just come out and just do whatever it needs to be doing right now. Because I need him to set this thing off. Because if Butcher goes off, that's going to set Homelander off, and that's who we need to really go off to kick this thing off. So Butcher, do whatever it is you need to do to trigger Homelander, so we can get this show on the road. And you know what? I would really love to see Black Noir sip some peach cognac in the next episode. Maybe that's just me.
I'm waiting on that 2K. I've been waiting on that moment since Homelander's "I am better" speech, and we're still waiting. Dom,
still waiting. So, what I want to happen next episode won't happen. But what I want to happen is I want the episode to start with the president giving a speech, and Homelander descends from the sky and moves him out the way and just and gives his own speech of a new world order. and we have 3 more episodes of just carnage. That's what I want to happen. It won't happen.
Butcher got to trigger him though. Butcher got to trigger him to do some foolishness.
But trigger him to do what? Because he's already declared that I'm better. He's already declared that these are toys for our amusement. He's already declared that we're going to no longer be worried about approval and be celebrities. We're going to be wrathful gods. Wrathful gods show off their power. So I'm just, it's a lot of lip service. And then maybe that's just a comment of Homelander's character because he's all talk. But I don't think that we're going. What I think will happen is because this season, as you guys were talking, I was thinking that this season kind of reminded me of the first season of House of the Dragon in the sense of the chess pieces being placed. Like the whole season is set up, and then the finale is like, all right, now we're off to the races. I think the reason that this season is less fulfilling than that is because we already know these characters. You shouldn't have to spend as much time setting the pieces because you don't have to introduce anybody. We've spent years with these characters already. And so so in that way, I think that's why it's not connecting with me. And we have so many irons in the fire. So what I want next episode to do is kind of streamline the plot lines a little bit, get everybody together, trim some of the fat, and some of these errant plot lines, either cross them over or cut them off. So we can kind of have a straightforward focus to the finale, and we can use this runtime more effectively. But that's it. That's all I want.
Not even that dumb. Gen V was a really good show. Gen V was really good. Anytime a show like does a one-off, spin-off, universe, sometimes it's really weak and it's just like, oh, wow, it was really good. So I think my anticipation was like, oh, if y'all tying that together and we did this with Gen V, whenever The Boys comes back, it's gonna be really, really good. And I'm just like, what? This is what? Oh, I was sadly mistaken.
Are any of you all DC fans, like the CW DC fans? Y'all used to watch Flash or Arrow and any of that?
Yeah. I watched Flash for like the first couple seasons. Yeah. Black Lightning too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a huge DC. This, to your point, Tyra, this reminds me of when Arrow was losing steam and Flash was like the new kid on the block, and that first 2 seasons of Flash was
so good,
amazing.
Yes.
But as they went along, they got weaker and weaker. So this is kind of reminding me of that CW, and that's why I'm glad their next season is the finale. Because if the boys kept going, it would have just completely ruined everything that they started. So I will give Gen V the credit, the benefit of the doubt. They're new. They're going to be everything's new character, new stuff. So that's why I think it's a little bit better than the boys right now because they're the new kids on the block, literally.
It's good. It's good. They set the stakes high because they got me all invested. I'm sorry, like because I was seeing some one-off like, oh, we're gonna expand the universe, and it was trash. Like this is terrible. Like sometimes it cheapens the effect of what we already got, but I was like, oh, Gen V is about to come with the boys, and it's gonna be like the most amazing season ever. I guess they were talking about season 5, but we are wrapping it up. Let me show you guys some love one more time for engaging with us in the chat, supporting us, liking us on our platforms, liking our videos, anticipating what we have coming up, and leaving those good old comments. We are going to be right back, and everybody's going to let you know what's going on their channel and where you can go to find them.
Hey, word on the street, I'm a suspect. Hanging with the killers in the projects. Taylor want a barrel, keep quiet. Slipping from behind. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. Like an outbreak. Chopper start to make the house shake. With a pound case. Eyes on your chin, better watch what your mouth say. With the footballs, nigga tripping. Keep sipping. AK with the beam on it. Clip sold on like a lean on it. Like behind ball. Move 100 pounds for a beat the charge. Tech down and play much of
Child, y'all know I make my little montage, my little dance breaks before I watch the episodes. Like I'm gonna have to change Homelander. He's not giving OG Bobby Johnson this season. Like it's just I thought he was gonna go off this season and it was gonna be real heated out here in these streets. It's not. He gonna get something else. He gonna get some Beyonce or something because it's weak. It's been weak. Stop talking to me about it. I am gonna come to Elliot first to let you guys know where you can go to find him and what he maybe has coming up on his channel. Go ahead, Elliot.
Yeah, well, Tyra, thank you for having me on once again. Shout out to Ashley, Dom, and Kay. Yeah, you guys can find me here on YouTube. You know, today I dropped a review for A Quiet Place Day 1. What else do we have? You know, I had my review for The Boys earlier this week. And I am, if you guys watch The Bear, it's one of my favorite shows on TV. I've only seen the first 2 episodes so far because I'm literally just marinating. I'm just letting this because I hate that they drop it all at once. So I'm gonna take my time with this. I'm gonna probably do a review next week or early next week. But if you haven't been watching The Bear, just 2 episodes in, it's like the writing is just crazy. So keep an eye out for that review. And then in the coming weeks, you know, big horror fan. So Maxine next week, which I'm really excited for. And then of course, continuation of my after show that I host for House of the Dragon. We do a watch party every Sunday, so keep an eye out for, you know, hopefully you can join me for that. But again, Tyra, thank you for having me on, and fingers crossed that next week's episode is fire.
Something better happen, because damn. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, Elliot. Once again, you guys, this is what Elliot's channel looks like, and he is like this close to 65K. Go and support him and get him there. Like, it don't happen by itself, y'all. We need a little help. Ashley, with the sweet perspective, I'm gonna come to you next. Let the people know what you got going on, because I'm coming over there for The Bear. I'm almost done with season 2. I need to get over there to season 3 because now I'm invested. I'm there. I'm with you now. Go ahead, Ashley.
I told you, friend. I told you. The Bear is one of my favorite watches. It's beautiful storytelling. Just had to put it out there. Okay. Anyway, everything is coming on the channel. I did my The Boys review recap. You can listen to that. I did a rant for the Shy season finale because it thoroughly pissed me off. Tomorrow I have a live for Ghost and the Shy, and then the finale. I'm heartbroken. Interview with a Vampire season 2 Sunday. My recap will be up, and the ladies will be here on Tuesday night to talk all things. And we're doing cosplay, guys. So be sure to check that out. Also have my House of the Dragon live on Monday nights. So yeah, come on over. Just hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything, honey. Because y'all know I drop something almost every day. Because
every day, every day. Y'all, please do not miss our interview with the Vampire. We have been rocking over there heavy. We are hoping to get even closer to that 1,000 people in the chat, in the live. And that's no easy feat. So we would love for y'all to be there to support us in that. But do not miss that. This is what My Sweet Perspectives channel look like. She is this close to 3K. Go over there and support her on that, as well as her TikTok. She be over there making it do what it do as well. Dom, coming to you next with the screen static. What do you have going on over there?
Well, got a lot of stuff coming up. They're coming out with a new Alien movie in August, Alien Romulus. So I'm doing a Road to Romulus where we're going to revisit all the Alien movies in the franchise. So every week I'm going to be going through all the Alien movies leading up to the release of the new one. So you can come stay tuned for that. That's going to be starting next week. And I'm still reviewing The Acolyte to start the new Star Wars show on Disney Plus every week. And it's the most contentious thing on the internet from my perspective, because the Star Wars fans are crazy and I love them. And so it's a very controversial show for a lot of reasons, but it's a good watch. So doing a lot of that. And then like Maxine, there's a movie called Long Legs coming out next week. We're going next week starts the weekly theatrical reviews. Every week, every Thursday, I'll be doing the theatrical review.
Absolutely. And this is what Dom's channel looks like. Y'all go and support him. Go over there and get Dom to that halfway mark, to that 1,000, and give him some 500 subscribers. I don't know why y'all be playing on people top. The content is there. Go and get it. Somebody said, are you even going to do Alien versus Predator Requiem?
So the way I'm gonna do both Alien versus Predator movies, I think I'm gonna do, but those will probably come after, because the way the weeks drop, I'll only do the Alien movies first. Then after Romulus comes out, I'll do the AVP movies, and I'll sit through Requiem. If y'all want me to talk about Requiem, I will sit through Requiem and
skip to Prometheus and don't do nothing. You can really skip Prometheus. Oh my god.
Don't do that. I would
No, don't do that. I would say, do
Yeah,
not disrespect Prometheus.
That one was kind of
no
good.
Prometheus.
That's
Later,
my
we'll tolerate it. I'll defend that with my
Questionable
diaphragm.
decisions in it. I love the movie. I hated the characters. Oh god, but don't do that. Last but not least, Kay, I am gonna come to you to let the people know what's happening over there with Horror and Hooch. Go ahead, Kay.
Okay, I'm planning to drop a review for The Watchers and Tarot this weekend. Live with Sweet Perspective on Mondays for House of the Dragon. Of course, Interview with the Vampire. We got reaction videos. We have the lives. Let's see, Evil. I'm probably going to do A Quiet Place. I'm trying to see what the reviews are looking like before I watch it myself, but I'm probably going to watch it and review it anyway. So all the horror stuff, all the sci-fi stuff, all the superhero stuff, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're a nerd like me, if you're a blurred, you like horror, you like superhero stuff, old school, new school, go ahead and hit subscribe button. All the stuff. I'm here.
Oh Lord, I'm looking at them chats. Y'all ain't like it. Y'all said it about Prometheus, and I'll say it again. I'll say it again. Like, I loved a lot of stuff about Prometheus. Some stuff, just grinds my gears, as Peter Griffin would say, but it's not at all a bad. I was joking about skipping it, but it's definitely not my favorite in the franchise. It is pretty good though. Pretty good. Could have been amazing though. But that's everything, y'all. That is everything. Please be sure you guys pop in with us Tuesday. We are really excited. I can't wait to see everybody's cosplay and costume because I know it's going to be a hot, funny mess. I'm really looking forward to that. And I will also be on King Nikki's TV channel tomorrow.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking a whole lot of horror and some other good things. So I will definitely be posting that as soon as we get off of there. But we will see you guys next week for episode 6, and I will be saying a silent prayer. I hope it's so good, and it's just like, just shut me up. I would love to shut up and be wrong and be like, you know what? I was soaking. I was giving y'all hate. This was incredible. I don't think they're gonna do that, but I can always hope. But we will definitely see you guys next week to talk episode 6 of The Boys, and we thank you guys for being there. Good night, y'all.